You got quite a lot of nerve clicking on this video. Dumb attempt at a pun off of the name of the artist that we're reviewing today, which is NRVE with the Relics EP. My name's Cubic, and let's just get into the review.
Hello, please excuse the interruption.
Alright, so like I said in the intro, today we are reviewing a brand new EP from NRVE called the Relics EP, released on Full Flex Audio. This will be my first Full Flex Audio review. I've definitely enjoyed releases here and there from Full Flex Audio. Haven't kept the closest eye on them, but here we begin with the first Full Flex Audio review. Let's see how it goes. I am a bit familiar with NRVE. I think I played the same live stream as NRVE earlier in the year last year. I remember hearing some crazy IDs, and then I heard NRVE's showcase mix a few months ago, and I was pretty impressed by some of the songs I heard. I haven't really listened to too many NRVE releases in the past, so I'm not super familiar with NRVE, but from what I know, NRVE makes really sick Tearout and has some really cool future rhythm IDs up their sleeve. So, one, I'm hoping for some future rhythm in this EP, because you guys all know I simp for future rhythm, but it's not a requirement for me to enjoy this at all. I'm also expecting some Tearout. We will see. If there is a lot of Tearout, my expectations are that it is unique in some way. Because, I mean, you all know, we've heard a lot of Tearout in the past year or two, and you know, some of it's pretty generic, some of it's pretty interesting. It's always a toss-up. So, let's just get things started with NRVE, Bongus. I like the space here, and the swing. Really clean, thick drums. Oh shit. Build up time. Let's go. Oh, this is just some neonic style rhythm. Ooh, go off. This sound design is both basic and interesting. You know, I'm not always a big fan of sustains, but this drop flows really well. You just keep things moving forward. That was fun. It was a bit generic. The sound design stayed the same, but the sound design was clean, had a nice texture, and the flow of the drop was well executed. Now let's see if there's a bit of a switch up in the second half. Oh, I like the crash breakbeat thing going on there. Oh! Go on! Oh! NRVE about to make me sweat in this fucking robe. That ARP is really satisfying. So this is like a mix between rhythm and Tearout. It's like a Tearout flow, but like rhythm sound design. And yeah, that was fun. It wasn't the most memorable track. Like the intros and the breakdowns didn't have like too much content to latch on to like emotionally or in terms of like, I don't know, it was mainly just an ARP and drums. But it was a fun song. It hit. There's a nice switch up. I definitely preferred the second drop, but the second drop kind of built on the first drop, so you kind of need both. And yeah, I don't know, fun song. Let's keep it moving with Anguish. I'm about ready to take this robe off though, because I am sweating balls. It's called Anguish by NRVE. It's definitely got that kind of vibe so far. Anguishy. It's like almost pretty, but there's like this undertone of just like sadness and dread. So far, both of these songs have the same kind of arrangement, like ethereal, half empty intro, and then the drums hit for like 16 bars, and then we go into the build-up. Maybe 8 bars, not 16. Or maybe not, no, it's 16, including the build-up. Oh, I like the little drum switch up in the build-up.
You know what? Let's start this shit.
Huh. I like the flow here. But the sound design feels kind of like too soft. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it. It feels like it needs a crispy, crunchy layer on top. It just feels kind of like muffled and pushed back in a weird way. I don't know how to describe it. It's just not giving me the impact that I want. But really cool flow and drums. Yeah, I just can't get into the sound design. I love this part though. This is beautiful. I'm curious to see what NRVE does in the second drop. Ooh. I do love the experimentation with the builds. Like, these builds are way more interesting than normal build-ups. Ah! This switch-up's so dope, I just don't like that lead. It's like, wah, wah. That like response layer though, wah, 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 is sick as fuck. Man, this is almost such a cool song. Bring the rook is like some mad. That was interesting to hear the vocal used in that way. It kind of worked. So far, I mean, I don't want to speak too soon, but so far what I'm hearing through this EP is NRVE has some strong suits. Arrangement, atmosphere, drum programming, and like drop lead arrangement, like the flow and the switch ups. A lot of like interesting strong suits, But overall, sound design wise, and I guess the amount of substance and idea put in, well, not necessarily idea, just it's mostly like sound design and like the implementation of the ideas are just not quite matured yet. It feels like NRVE, so far from what I've heard, hasn't completely found their like style or thing yet. Or just, what I mean is just like they're still a new artist, it feels like, and they're still finding their footing, but they've got a lot of strong potential to look forward to. Because both of these tracks, I mean, I like Bongus. Bongus was fun, but it didn't have like a wow factor that was like, would make the song really stick in my head. And then Anguish was also dope, but the sound design just didn't complete the idea for me. And again, this is all subjective and just my opinion. And so you guys might be loving this, and I'm not disliking this at all. And I think there's a lot of cool stuff in these songs. I'm looking forward to the next two. But yeah, from what I'm getting from this so far is NRVE is definitely an artist to watch. But so far, neither of these songs have really been memorable for me yet. We got Carbon. I keep forgetting to say the song names. Ooh, that's pretty. I do like that as we go deeper into the EP, the songs are having more substance in the intros and melodic periods. Ooh! I feel like the sidechain on this didn't need to be so hard, but that's a very minor criticism. Oh, very interesting build-up. See, I'm really enjoying the NRVE drums. And the mixing's clean. Oh! I should have stayed up. This, like, call and response thing is so interesting. What the... That like fucked up spectral processing and shit. This is having a little bit of the same issue though, where the Tearout leads just don't feel like punchy enough. It might be that because of the sub they're paired with. Okay, this part's actually dope. Oh, let's go. Oh, I like the way we entered the bridge there. This part's a really cool vibe. Oh, that threw me off in a bad way. The fake out was like too much of a fake out. I don't know how I feel about the drop in this one. Whoa! This outro though, holy fuck. This is sick. And it kind of lives up, it gives me this like carbon vibe, like sci-fi. so far it's like, I feel like Bongus is the most well put together track in terms of the drop. This one had the coolest, like most intriguing ideas before and in between the drops. And then the drop, there's definitely some ambition in the drop. The way they were doing the call and response, I feel like the responses just didn't fully satisfy you, I guess, or at least me. But I like the switch ups with the like little fake outs before. Second drop was kind of a dud for me just because the way it was introduced, and then it didn't end up being that much of a switch up after the first like 4 bars. But yeah, again, it goes back to what I said after the last song. A lot of potential here with NRVE, really interesting ideas, but then there's just some like issues with the last 2 songs that kind of just don't let me fully latch on to the song. But we have one more song, Extra Phat by NRVE. Let's see what happens when we get a little bit fat. What do I do? Extra Phat by NRVE. So we got that same arrangement, empty, ethereal, well, not ethereal, but intro, and then goes into some rhythm drums. See, it's just a riser and a pad, but these drums, this like weird industrial snare clap thing is really cool. Ooh. Oh, that has me intrigued. Please do this justice, drop. Ooh! It's classic Tearout, but there's just something about it. It's getting a little bit stale here. But it's still overall good flow. And again, I love the drums. The drums in all of these have been so good. For that, I kind of wished in the first drop, the first half was great, but the second half, I wanted a bit of a switch up with the sound design. Oh, that's better. That's a switch up. Even just some sort of really interesting like harmonic layer to the Tearout leads, like in this response or something, potentially like modulating, would be really cool. But this still goes off. Well, I like this kind of like old school Reese hit that's happening. Alright, so overall, Bongus and Extra Phat were my favorites. But the drops both started out interesting and then became a little too generic. So obviously, an artist should do what makes them happy. At the end of the day, it's their art. It's not my place to tell them what they should or shouldn't do. It's my place to either enjoy it or move on. But this is a review, so I'm just giving my suggestion, my subjective opinion based suggestion, which is to just, like, in a lot of these drops, it's like NRVE starts out with a really cool idea, but then kind of cops out into the classic, like, Tearout and Brittum tropes of, okay, same flow with sustained bass, or different flow but same leads with sustained bass. And that's where things just kind of feel a little bit lazy. Someone told me the other day that sometimes what's wrong with a song is what they could have done better, you know? So it's like, it's a good song, it's fun and everything, but it's like when you can hear what they could have done like more of and they just didn't do. I don't know if I'm saying that as gracefully as the person who said it to me was, but basically my point is that there's just like parts of these songs in terms of the drops and the sound design where I just feel like a new layer could have spiced it up that much more, or like a more interesting flow, or some weird background elements added, like, or percussion, whatever it is. And so yeah, just some of these drops were a little bit of a letdown because there's such cool ideas hidden in all of these, and like I kept saying, the drums are fire. The drums, the build-up ideas, some of the more interesting build-ups I've heard out of a lot of music I've listened to recently. And yeah, the flow, obviously they know what they're doing with the flow. They know what they're doing with the mixing for the most part. Some of the sound design mixing could be better, like the leads, but overall, these are all well-composed songs. It's just the ideas I feel like need a little bit more effort put into them to just keep things interesting, but definitely on the right path. Like I said, just seems like still a bit of a new artist finding their footing and finding what makes them unique, and definitely one to watch out for. Go stream NRVE's Relics EP on Full Flex Audio. Put all NRVE's info down below, and yeah, what did you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more content like this. My name is Qbik. Don't yuck my yums and don't yuck other people's yums. And I was about to say let's fucking go, but I guess we're going. But I will see you in another video very soon. Love you all. Thanks for all the support. Bye bye.